Ratio analysis is a vital tool in the financial analysis used by stakeholders to assess a firm's performance, liquidity, solvency, and profitability. This is the statement that is given to us, and we are asked to discuss this statement with suitable examples and interpretations. All right. So, what is ratio analysis? You can think of ratio analysis as a financial health checkup for a company. Have you gone for a full body checkup or a health checkup any time? What are the things that usually a doctor does? They use the blood pressure or they'll check for your cholesterol or sugar readings to understand our health, right? So here, instead of say stethoscopes or thermometers and multiple blood tests, we are going to use numbers from the balance sheet, from the income statement to evaluate how well a business is doing. So why are we supposed to do this ratio analysis? What is, why does all this matter? Because every stakeholder, whether it is an investor, a banker, or even a company's own management, they need to know how this business is performing. But raw financial statements like say the balance sheet or the income statement, they can feel like very dense novels in a foreign language. So enter ratio analysis. It will translate those numbers from what you see on the balance sheet and the income statement. This ratio analysis will translate it into meaningful indicators. It helps us see whether the company is profitable, whether it can pay its own bills, and whether it is built to survive the long haul or not. So, have you ever seen, for those who are into trade markets and trading stock market, you will be knowing about these ratios, right? Have you heard about the PE ratio, PV ratio, such things? Yeah, same thing only. So now, first, let us talk about the liquidity ratios. Okay, we'll first talk about the liquidity ratios. This is like a quick check to see if the company can pay its short-term debts without breaking a sweat. The current ratio. What is current ratio? Current assets divided by current liabilities. This is a liquidity ratio. It tells us if short-term assets can cover its short-term obligations. Like for example, if a firm has 2 rupees in its current asset, then for every 1 rupee it owes in the near future, can this current ratio of 2 is to 1, is it in a comfortable position or not? Then there is also the asset test ratio, that is quick assets divided by current liabilities. This is a little bit more stricter, excluding the inventories to see if the company can meet obligations with its most liquid resources. You can think of it like this. If your rent is due tomorrow, then your ability to pay that rent will depend on the money in your wallet or in your bank account, which you can easily withdraw. Right. And it is not going to depend on a TV that you have or a laptop that you have if you that you could sell if you had to. So that is the current ratio and the asset test ratio. Hey, if you're enjoying this session, take a quick moment to subscribe to Anu's Classroom and turn on notifications so you will never miss an update. Your likes, shares, and even a super thanks or sticker are little boosts of encouragement that help me keep creating and growing this channel. You got any questions, ideas, or suggestions? Drop them in the comments. I love hearing from you and I'm always here to help however I can. Now let's head back. So the liquidity ratio was like a short term thing. Now let us look at what happens in the long term, that is solvency ratio. Solvency ratio is like a long time survival indicator. Okay, this is the second thing, solvency ratio. These look beyond, say, tomorrow's rent or tomorrow's electricity bills, and they ask, will the company still be standing in, let's say, 10 years from now? This is the debt equity ratio. That is the first ratio we need to know about when we talk about solvency ratios. It is calculated as the total debt divided by the shareholders' equity. It shows how much of the company's capital comes from debt compared to equity. A lower debt equity ratio suggests that a company relies more on its own funds rather than on borrowed money. That is usually a safer bet. Another is the interest coverage ratio. This is again a solvency ratio. This is calculated by EBIT divided by interest expense, and this reveals how easily a company can pay interest. Let's say if a business earns rupees 10 crore before interest and taxes, and it owes, let's say, 2 crore in interest, then its coverage ratio is going to be 5, which is comfortably above the danger zone. Okay, now you can think of the solvency like your mortgage situation. If, say, your salary covers your EMIs 5 times over, then you will sleep better at night. Correct. So that is solvency ratio. Now, the third ratio that we will talk about is the profitability ratio. Profitability ratio is the performance scorecard, you can say. So, profitability ratio is like your performance scorecard. This shows how efficiently the company turns its sales into profits. The gross profit margin, that is gross profit divided by sales, reflects the production efficiency, whereas the net profit margin, that is net income divided by sales, this shows the ultimate takeaway after all your expenses. Let's say, for instance, if a company, say company A, it has 30% gross profit margin, whereas its competitor B sits at 25%. Then A is clearly better at controlling its production cost, or say charging higher, or it might be charging higher prices. So it is like two restaurants that are selling the same dish, but one makes more money on each plate. That is efficiency in action. Correct. Let's say I am selling an assignment solution, or some other platform is selling an assignment solution. If I make more money selling the assignment solution than them, then who is more efficient? I am. Or if they are getting more money, or if they are making more money out of that product, then who is more efficient? Who has a better profitability ratio? They have. Same thing, easy peasy. There is nothing to all these ratios once you understand it properly, right? So in the end, this ratio analysis, I want you to understand this ratio analysis is not about, you memorizing a whole bunch of formulas. It is all about your interpretation. Numbers alone will not tell you the whole story. Okay, but when you compare that number with the past performance or industry averages or what your competitors are doing, then they become powerful decision making tools. For example, if it is for an investor, it might mean a decision like whether to buy shares in it or not. For a banker, it could mean whether you should approve a loan for them or not. And for management, it might highlight areas where they need improvement. So the next time you see a set of financial statements, or you look at money control and see a lot of ratios, remember, this is the magnifying glass for an organization. It turns their raw numbers into insights, and those insights will turn into action through you. I hope this session was helpful in enabling you to write your own answer for this question. I hope to see you all in the next video as well.